Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to nfthub.io. It is time to level up and game on. So today we're going to go through the update that came out for my Mydefipet with the staking. And I have my own opinion about certain things, so we'll get through that. But first and foremost, let me give you guys a really quick super update on Dragonary. Today they're having a special event. It is only for 24 hours. Only for the 23rd of August 2021. So NFTGG did a great video on it, so I'm going to post a link to this video. No need for me to redo the video. As I mentioned on this channel, we promote YouTubers that do excellent job and doing their best to put out a service to the community. Also, on the same token for Dragonary, this gentleman did a video on how to see how much your account is worth and how to progress your account and how to increase your account as far as the breeding and how much it costs to increase your account value on Dragonary. So these two I'm going to link. It's going to be under the description where it says recommended video for Dragonary. Now let's get into my Mydefipet. On my Mydefipet, they dropped the Telegram, and it has some of the information about the staking that's coming up. It doesn't have all the information, and there are some very critical information that is needed. So if you guys only saw it on Telegram, I'm going to give you guys the full aspect of what they have so far, which is right now on their Medium page. So let's jump to the Medium. I already copied everything that was here. That's why that part was highlighted. And I copied it over to here. So we're going to use here because I already highlighted all the important stuff. Now, before we even, actually, let's do that first because that's going to be the important part. So here's what happened. And we'll go through this, and then I'll let you guys know why I'm calling certain BS. Everything is a positive. But why I'm calling certain BS that now they decided to do this. Okay, so they have Staking House. And I'm also going to put a link to the Medium article because it was a little bit difficult to find. If you go straight to Medium and you type in Mydefipet, you may not find this article yet. So I'm going to have the direct link to it if you want to go take a look at it yourself. So it starts by saying Staking House, a profitable investment from similar to deposit in a bank. It means just it's staking. We know what staking is. So what they're doing is that they mention in their Discord that they wanted to start the staking on the token originally and not on the NFTs, but they're going to start on the NFTs. And I can tell you guys 100% without a doubt, the reason they're starting on the NFTs, we're going to take a look at the charts in a minute, is because the price was dropping. And they realized, whoa, hold up. We just had a monumental screw up with the world boss. And let's be fair, we have the right to be upset, angry, frustrated, but like as I mentioned before, also give the team some support. You can't just have a one direction frame of mind. Yes, we can look at both the positive and the negative. Positive is that it kept crashing because of the amount of people that was trying to get in. That should tell you how big of a potential this game has to blow up. At the same time, the team was very ill prepared when they should have known how many wallets was holding dpets. And that thing about, oh, well, we didn't expect that many people, BS. You guys know exactly how many wallets are holding the dpet tokens. It's not just a few thousand. It's tens, if not hundreds of thousands of wallets. And you didn't think everybody was going to get in? So now that they screwed that up, they need to find a way to please the current holders. If they only do the tokens, those are people who can buy tokens and deposit it and start staking the tokens to earn more dpet tokens. But they had to realize, wait a minute, and if you listen to my video before, I even mentioned, if the team does not take care of their current people who've already invested into their dpets, they're going to lose those customers. They're going to lose that community. And that's the last thing that they want to happen, and that is reflecting on the current chart of my Mydefipet, which we're going to take a look at in a minute. But let's move forward with what they had to say. Hey, Pet Masters. We are excited to introduce the new Play-to-Earn with Mydefipet from September forward. Now, I don't know if that, I'm thinking that maybe the first week of September, which is no more than a week away. So I'm going to say about a week a week and a half, 2 weeks max, which would put us around September 12th, September 14th, where we should be getting this feature implemented. From September onward, everyone can explore the staking house with their pets and train them to become treasure hunters. In this area, you will accumulate, this is the important part, you will accumulate pets slash dpet for staking. Here's what that means. I believe this means you can stake your pets, which where it says pet, and dpet, that's for token. It should be saying NFT pets and dpet tokens. I believe you're going to be able to do both for staking. Or maybe, at least for now, we know definitely you can stake your dpet, the pets themselves. So I'm not 100% sure on the token, but it says in this area you can accumulate. Okay, I take that back. This is why I keep going over this section. You can accumulate. It doesn't say what you're staking. We know where you're staking your NFT dpets, but you can accumulate pets or dpet tokens at the same time. So your NFT pets for your dpets can either accumulate you pets, where you get more pets, or it could accumulate you dpet tokens. So you have an opportunity to get both or one or the other. Period of 1 month, which means your pets are going to be locked up for 1 month. Please note that you cannot withdraw your funds during this period. Here's what that means. When it says withdraw your funds, I don't believe you're able to stake the tokens. Maybe we are. But the tokens that you're accumulating, let's say you put in 10 dpets and you're up by 15 tokens. You cannot remove those 15 tokens. You have to wait for the period of 1 month to be over. You have to stake it for a minimum of 30 days before you can pull your reward out. Okay? So it's not like when we were doing the raid. As it's going, you're getting your rewards and you're getting it directly into your wallet. No. If you're going to accumulate a total of, let's say, 20 dpet tokens, you must wait until the very last day, until the staking period is over, in order for you to pull out those 20 dpet tokens you're going to be rewarded. Or possibly even the dpet themselves if you're getting an extra pet, or whether it's going to be a form of an egg or a pet or whichever. Alright. Please note, once again we're going to go over it, please note that you cannot withdraw your funds during this period. This is an important part also. Anything that's in red is important. After the staking period, users can gain additional pet slash dpet. Like I said, you could either gain pets or you can get dpet tokens as a reward. Next, these are the rules for all pet masters to review. After the testing session, we might adjust if necessary to establish their performance. Necessary to stabilize the performance. And I believe that is, I'm really glad they put that in. I don't think they put that part in the Telegram. So what they're saying, for example, let's say they realize people are not getting enough to actually keep the staking going. They may increase the staking amount, or they may increase the reward that we're getting, if I should really say. Or if people are getting too much, let's say everybody's getting 100 dpet tokens or 50 dpet tokens, and all of a sudden what happens? People start selling all those dpets and dumping the price. They may adjust, which is excellent. That part I absolutely love. You have to be able to balance it where you don't get too much or you don't get too little. Because it's the same thing that happened with CryptoBlade, the same thing that happened with Drakeball, and many other projects. They overextend the rewards. It's like a star. The brighter the star burns, the quicker it's going to run out, which is the situation with CryptoBlade. They gave so much rewards that everybody kept selling, and dumped the price. And they don't want the same thing to happen with dpet, the dpet token. So that part I can appreciate. Also, each day, the pet masters can send up to 10 pets to the staking house. So you cannot stake within a 24-hour period. you cannot send 100 pets. So for someone like me, it would literally take me over a month to send every single pet that I have. Because if I have over 300 pets, that's 10 pets per day. In 30 days, that's 300 pets. So I cannot send all my 300 pets at the same time. I can only send 10 pets each day to the staking house. Each day, the pet masters can send up to 10 pets to the staking house. And they can go together in one ticket, one transaction. Holy shit. Let's pause for a second. If you guys go back to my previous video, and it's the same shit that CryptoBlade did. And I don't mean to really say it in a negative way, but like I said, I'm going to call all the BS when I see them. What did I say in almost every single video that I did about my dpet token? Why is it that they're making us spend one by one in the transaction? It's not that difficult to change it to send batch at one time. They didn't put it in a way where each pet you send to the staking house, you have to do it one by one. They're allowing us to do a batch of 10 and not to have 10 transactions. You can send 10 pets in one transaction, so you only pay the gas fee once. Do you guys know why they're doing that? Let me show you guys why. Because of the freaking price that was dumping. So they could have done this before. It's the same thing CryptoBlades did. They wanted you to keep paying gas fees. Every fight was 40 stamina per fight when they could have made it 200 per fight. You got 5 fights out of the way with one gas transaction. But no, they kept doing it where you had to send your guys into battle and you had to keep paying 5 times to use up all your 200 stamina. Then all of a sudden when the price was crashing, hey guys, guess what? We fixed it. Now you could send 200 stamina at one time. We're gonna save you guys on your gas fees because we're such good guys, and that's why I call no, you guys are full of shit. You could have done it before, but you needed to appease the gas fee gods over on Binance. That's where I get really, really agitated when it comes to shit like this. They're most like, I'm not gonna say 100% for sure, but I'm pretty sure they could have set it up in a way where we did not have to buy each egg, and I mean not buy each egg. We could have bought the dpet eggs one by one, and we're like, why can't we just buy like 10, 20, 30 eggs at one time? So we don't have to spend a gas fee every single egg that we purchase. 3 dpets to buy 1 egg, gas fee. 3 dpets to buy 1 egg, gas fee. Over and over and over again. I have 300 pets. That means I spent 300 times gas fees. Why? Because they were on their high horse, because the price was going up, and they wanted to show Binance, look how much money we can make you. Put us on the Binance, list us on Binance. That's what that was. Now that the price is crashing and they realize the customers are pissed off and they realize they're going to crash and they're like, oh shit, we got to do something to fix this. Hey, why don't we let them do 10 at one time so we can save them on the gas fees? Like I said before, guys, these guys are not here for you. They're not here for me. They're not here for us. They're here to save their ass any way that they can. Yes, it benefits us that we can send 10 at one time. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's about freaking time. But you didn't do it because you love us and you want to save us money. You're doing it so you could save your project. I will always call every single bullshit that I see. That does not mean I don't support the team. I will always, 100% for sure, always play devil's advocate. I will tell you to back them up, but at the same time, I will call their BS. I will let you guys know. It doesn't matter if they mess up. Support the team. You have to support the team. We have to show them love. We have to have their back. But at the same time, that does not mean I'm not going to call the BS. Listen, I love my children, and I will support them. Whether they're right or they're wrong, I will continue to love them. But if one of those little, if they mess up, you better believe I'm going to call their BS. That doesn't mean I don't love them. I'm just going to call the BS when I see it. Same thing with any crypto project I cover. I will always have their back if I believe they deserve to have it. But that does not mean I'm not going to call the BS. So this right here, I believe they could have done this previously. There is no reason why we had to buy those eggs one by one. They're going to say, hey, you can't buy 20, 50 at a time, but we can narrow it down where you could buy 5 eggs at one time, so you don't have to pay 5 times gas fee. You could buy 10 at one time. Okay, I think I've vented enough on this subject, but it irks me when I see people taking advantage of our community. But it is what it is. Let's leave that as that. Let's continue. We have more to cover. Pets chosen to be staked Pets chosen to be staked are not accessible, meaning they cannot be traded. So why would they take it? I guess it's for the future because we still can't, the market is not open yet. But they're just giving you a heads up. When you stake your pets, they cannot be traded. They cannot be used to be bred. They cannot be sent into battle. And I'm pretty damn sure you can't use them to farm silver. That little part they forgot to put. So let me go over it, make sure. Meaning they cannot be traded, bred, or sent into battle. This part is important because most people did not, you read it, but you're not paying attention. Be careful, guys, not to send every single pet. Let's say you have 20 pets. First day you send 10. The next day you send 10. Now you got 30 days before you can pull them out and earn the reward. Because soon they're going to let you know. If you pull your pets out before the reward time is over, you're not going to get the reward. But what happens if you have all 20 of your pets? You only have 20 pets on your account. You send all 20 of your pets. And all of a sudden they say, hey, next week we're going to have the raid boss. Next week we're going to have, a group boss. Your pets are being staked. So be careful. You might want to send some and keep some. Not financial advice. You guys do what you want. But I just want you to keep in mind, whatever pets you stand to be staked, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I'm going to send all my pets and I'm going to get as much as I want. And then a week later you hear the boss fight is going, they're going to make a second attempt. I also believe this may be a way to lock up some pets so when they reopen the world boss, well, maybe there won't be as many pets trying to get into the fight at the same time. That could be a possibility. You always gotta play a step ahead. Being in crypto in these NFT games is like a game of chess. Stay ahead of the competition. Don't play checkers, play chess. Always try to be one step ahead or see what move they're going to make next. Let's keep going. The amount of treasure your pets can find will depend on how long they stay in the staking house. That tells me they could stay longer than 30 days. So let's say I send 10 pets in. Maybe they come back with 1 egg. If I leave them for 45 days or 2 weeks, an extra 2 weeks or an extra month, they come back with 2 or 3. It makes sense. If you're going to go for it, go for it. Don't just leave it in 30 days. Try to get as much as you can out of it. Those are for the individuals, obviously, who have enough pets to do something like that. There's a very, 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 very important part that we're going to cover in a second. So if you're going to send your pets, make sure you get the most out of it. Pet masters can select more than 10 pets to withdraw. Let's see. Pet masters can select more than 10 pets to withdraw at one time. Okay. Once again, they're trying to keep us happy. Each day, the pet masters can send up to, when you're sending, you can only send up to 10 pets on one transaction. When you're withdrawing, pet masters can select more than 10 on one withdrawal, which means if you send your first batch, the first day, 10 pets, the next day, 10 pets, the next day, 10 pets. Now you got 30 pets selected. You can only send 10 at a time in one batch into the staking. But you probably can pull all 30 pets at one time when you're withdrawing. So you don't have to withdraw 10, pay a transaction fee, withdraw 10, pay a transaction fee, withdraw the last 10, pay a transaction fee. No, you can withdraw all 30 of them at the same time. So that's something you guys also need to keep in mind when we're withdrawing. I don't think there's a limit in withdrawing the amount you can withdraw in one transaction. So once again, this right here is to keep us happy. That's a positive for us. Now, here is the most important thing that I don't see why it was not on Telegram. Each pet can only be, sorry, I'm just have people calling me like crazy during every time I'm doing a video. Each pet can only be staked up to 2 times. You can only stake your pets up to 2 times. And the history will be recorded even if the pet trades to a new master. Which means every time you stake your pet, you can only do it up to 2 times in the history of those pets. That will, I repeat again, that will bring down the value of your dpet. If you're staking your dpets, this is the part I want to go here. Actually, you know what? Let's finish this real quick, and then I'll show you guys why that is very important. Canceling when the process is not finished yet. You can cancel to get your pets back, but will not be rewarded with dpets. Now, does that mean if it's a pet, you will be rewarded? Because I don't see pet/dpet. I only see you will not be rewarded with dpets. Which I'm pretty sure this was a typo. They probably meant to say the same thing they have up here. Pet/dpets. Because if you unstake early, I'm not sure if it's both, which I would say most likely will be. So just, consider it's going to be both. The pet or the dpet tokens, you're not going to get it if you unstake early. This is a good one. Cancel does not count the number of times the pet has been staked. Thank God. That means, and you know what, they're missing a period here. So I know they kind of rushed this because they've never been good at giving information. But okay. I'm just a little stickler when it comes to things like that. Here's what that means. It's pretty clear. If you stake your pets and then you unstake it before the period is over and you're not claiming any rewards, it does not count one of the 2 times that you can stake your pets. Because it seems like your pets can only be staked twice. Here's what I want you guys to keep in mind. For everything that is holy, guys, if you don't take anything else from this video, take this into consideration. If they do not limit the amount of times, hold on, pause. Let me get that's okay. I'm right with what I'm about to say. Let's start over again because I thought I was going to say something wrong. If they do not limit the amount of time that you can leave your pet to be staked, which means, you can only stake it up to 2 months. You can only stake it up to 90 days. You can only stake it up to 3 months or 4 months or 5 months, whatever it is. If you can only stake your pet twice, my suggestion is leave those little fuckers in there for as long as possible. I'm not going to stake my pet and pull out 1 egg or 1 additional pet or let's say 30 dpet tokens. If I stake my pet and I know I can only do it twice and they allow me to leave my pet in there for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or a year, you better freaking believe those little fuckers are staying in there. And the reason I said it that way is so you guys can, okay, I guess it's serious. Yes, I'm serious. You can only do it once. So you want to gain a little bit on it? Or do you want to gain a lot on it? Because you can only do it twice. So if you stake it the first time, I might stake those pets and leave them in there for 2-3 months. The second time, if I can leave it up there for up to a year, believe me, they're staying in there because I'm going to get as much as I can. Reason being, once again, every time you stake your pet, it brings down the value of that pet because you already used it for staking. Whoever's going to buy it from you, I'm pretty sure they're going to check up. That person already used their stake to stake once, so I can only stake one more time with it. Up, they already used it to stake twice, so I cannot stake with it. That lowers the value. Oh, they never used their pet to stake before? Okay, that brings up the value because now they know they could buy it and benefit from the staking. So if you are going to stake your pet, like they said, the longer you leave it, the more value it's going to give you when it comes to the reward. So get everything that you can get out of it. Canceling staking when the process is not finished. You can cancel your pet back, but you will not receive the reward for your with dpet. Cancel does not count the number of times the pet has staked. Okay, so if you cancel, it's not going to count as one of the two. Thank God, that's actually a good feature. This feature is still in development and will be released in September. They didn't say when, but sometime in September. Please leave your comment below or in the community channel. We are willing to hear from all of you. Stay tuned for more details. Okay, let's jump to Mydefipet real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a pet, I don't know why I keep using this guy, but let's use him. This pet will never be staked. Why? If this is one of those pets that have a logo that is super rare, why would I stake this pet? Unless this pet is a special pet, it's going to give me a lot more, which is something I'm going to inform them of. I'm going to put it in the Telegram and write to them and, inform them. Pets with logos and special pets, rare pets, should get more from the staking. Because if I stake this pet, and it's going to get me just as much as this spike, why would I lower my value? When I can stake this pet here, why would I lower my value of this pet here? If this is a pet that has the cardio chain logo on it, with horns and glasses and pendant and shoes or paws, whatever people claim to call that, it's a full stock. The only thing is missing is either an aura or an outline. But this pet can be worth 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 in the future, whatever. Why would I lower that value of this pet and send him to the staking house? Because if next year or 2 years from now, or whenever the value, I'm happy with what I can get for it, this pet will never be bred. I will never breed this pet. Because this is not a pet I'm looking to play and have fun with. Will I send him into battle? Yes. Will I do dailies with him? Absolutely. Anything that does not lower the value. But I'm not going to lower the value of this pet by using it to breed. This is an investment for me. There are certain pets I'm going to use to play and have fun with. Anything, once again, anything does not lower the value of this pet, I will use this pet in. Send him into a boss fight? Yes. We're going to limit the amount of times you can use a pet in a boss fight. Oh, okay, well, this pet will no longer be in a boss fight. I'm not going to do anything that's going to bring down the value of this pet. So if I can only use them for staking twice, I'm going to leave that. So when I decide to sell this pet, instead of getting $1,000 for it, I could get $5,000 for it because it's never been bred and it's never went into the staking house. So it still has 100% full benefit of anything you could use this pet for. This is why I said I wanted to bring this to you guys. If you guys get nothing else from this video, the two things I want you guys to keep in mind. If you guys have special logo pets, or pets that have an aura, or pets that has an element, or a pet that could be considered highly valued, do you want to send that pet and breed them and lower that value? Do you want to send that pet into the staking house and lower that value? Unless you're going to get $10,000 worth out of that staking or that breeding, not financial advice, But do you really want to lower the value of the pet at that point? No, I'm not. You guys are grown. You're going to do what you want to do. I'm here to try and give you the best information that I can. Don't send your pet to the staking house unless you're 100% sure it's worth lowering the value of your pet. The pets I will be sending, you better believe all these little guys up here that does not have special features, I'm going to send at least maybe, I have a little bit over 300, not to keep bragging, but if you have that, 100 pets, I would send 20 or 30. Maybe 40 if you choose. But the pets that you send, leave them long enough where you could get the most value out of them. Because remember, every time you send them, it's going to count as one. You can only do it twice. So you might as well make worth what you're going to be rewarding before you pull your pets out, that is going to be worth sending it and lowering the value of those pets. Because once the auction house opens, people will pay attention. Has that pet been used in the staking house? Has that pet been used for breeding? And that's going to lower the value. All right. Other than that, I don't think there's too much more we can go over. Let's take a look at the charts real quick. This did have a slight positive reaction on the market. Like I said before, if you watch my previous video, I said be careful. Anytime we drop under 5, I can see going from 5 to 550 at most. And it stopped exactly at around 460. I said anything under 5 would be between 5 and about 450. Because I could see the support pulling right here. And I believe this is why they're coming out with it. Because the next stage for them to have some type of support would have been at 4. If we miss 4, there is nothing stopping this thing from going to $2. And that's why all of a sudden, hey, we're going to give you batch transactions now. You don't need to spend one by one. You could do it in 10. Absolutely, because we want to be here for you guys. Please stop dropping the token price. We're going to be nice. We're going to be nice to you guys. Are you guys happy now? Yeah, look, we're giving you 10 batches at once. This is why they did that. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But will somebody tell me any different? Nope. CryptoBlade did the same shit. Oh, you guys are dumping off price tokens? Let's give you batch transactions down. Yay, because we're on your side. Right. Okay. Skip me with that bullshit. This is why it came out. They're trying to stop the price from crashing any further. Because if it gets to $4, which I could see it coming down to, but at this point, I think this is the best time you can get in. Again, not financial advice, but I think around $5 and $6 is a good time to get in. The reason I have this line right here is because $6 is going to might have a hard time getting past. I could see a bounce between here to here for the next week or two. I can see that happening. If we're allowed to stake the dpet tokens themselves, I could see the token pumping. If it's just the NFTs, well, I don't know. Maybe people might buy more dpet tokens and, stake them. The downside to this is that they have not put a limit on the amount of dpet NFTs that could be created. If there is no limit, that devalues every single pet that everyone has. Unless you have a specific, very rare pet like the logo pets and such. That might increase the value because now for every one logo pet, there are 1,000 regular pets. Or for every one logo pet, there is 100,000 regular pets. So that will increase the value of the special pets that have logos and the outline and the auras. But for the regular pets, it's like a US dollar or any currency that you have. The more the government print, the more worthless your currency becomes. No different in dpets. If they don't put a stopping to the printing press of how many dpets can be created, every time there's a new dpet that is created, that lowers the value of your pet. because you're just 1 out of 1,000 now. You just 1 out of 10,000 now. You just 1 out of 100,000 now. And sooner or later, you're going to be 1 out of 5 millions now. What makes you so special? Anybody can get in. The only people that are going to benefit from that, unfortunately, is those people that have very special rare pets. Because the odds are going to be more and more. Hey, this is 1 out of 1,000. This is 1 out of 10,000. This is 1 out of 100,000. This is 1 out of 1 million. This is 1 out of 10 million. More rare, the rarer your pet, the more valuable it's going to become if they don't put a stop to the printing press. They have to limit the amount. Or just say, hey, for the next 6 months, there will be no more dpets that can be created until we reopen it. That's going to be my other suggestion to the team. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because you guys can do the same thing. Suggest to them, why don't you guys put a stop on how many pets can be created for the next several months? And then we can reopen it after 6 months or 3 months. So that way, if there's a value to it. There's a reason why, hey, these pets are worth X amount of dollars because you can't get any more. You can't get another 100 pets if you feel like it. They have to find a way to stop that. And if you guys did not watch my previous video that I did about 2 videos past on how the next world boss should be handled, I did mention they should have some kind of whitelist and everything, and already have the BNB into it for the transaction fees, and they can do a control environment for the next world boss, which will help things run a lot more smoother. I did put the email for the team. If you guys want to email them real quick and say, hey, this is a video that I've watched and I think it makes a lot of sense. Try to implement this moving into the future so we can have a controlled environment for the world boss and we can stop crashing or 10,000 people trying to get in at the same time. But for now, I think I got everything I wanted to get out. I don't think there's anything else I really I think we got everything now, guys. In case you guys haven't noticed, when I do my videos, I don't have a script. I talk to you guys as if we're sitting down, drinking a cup of coffee or a beer. I'm just talking to a family member and friends. That's how I do my videos. They're not scripted. I just talk to you guys like we're friends and we're family and we're having a conversation. My videos are based on a regular conversation. There's no script. I just say what comes to mind. Obviously, I try to think of what I need to say freehand. And then, I try to implement them in the videos. But other than that, I think we covered everything today. So, last thoughts. Be careful which pets you're sending in. Don't send your most valuable pets. If you are going to send your pets in, make sure you're willing to hold on to those pets in the staking for at least a few months so you could get the most that you can out of it, because you can only do it twice. Think of it of running into the bank. Do you want to run into a bank and come out with $1,000? If they say you're only going to do this twice, so run in the bank, grab as much as you can, and when you come out, you're going to have one more chance to run back into that bank. Are you going to run into the bank and try to come out with $1,000, or are you going to run in the bank and try to come out with $1 million? If you only got 2 times to do it, you better get as much as you can out of it. So believe me, the pets that I send, they're going to stay in there for months. And unless they said, hey, you can only have a maximum of 3 months, 6 months, or a year, the longer I can leave them stay in there, oh, you better believe those bad boys are not coming out anytime soon. So that's my suggestion. When it comes to breeding or sending to the staking house, make sure you're not using your most valuable pets. And if you are going to breed your most valuable pets, or if you're going to send them to the stake house, make sure you're going to get the value out of it, or at least think ahead of time. Does it make sense? Okay? I only have, let me see, we are at 39 minutes. So I'm going to take 1 minute to give you guys a small advice. Here we go. When it comes to gaming, when it comes to trading, or even things like Mydefipet, there are gamblers and there are people who do it as a professional. Professional people that play professional poker players. When you watch them on ESPN, they don't do, they're not doing gambling. ESPN does not promote gambling. They promote the professional poker tournament. It's not called the gambling tournament. There's a reason why. Because those guys who play poker, they study it, and they learn calculated risk. Every hand they play is calculated. They're not just throwing it out there and hoping for the best. That's called gambling. There's a difference between gambling and a difference between trading and when it comes to your money financially, how you make your move. There are people that trade, and people will say, "Oh, trading is like gambling." No, the mentality that you have when you're trading, or even something on like Mydefipet, the mentality is what makes it. Whether you're doing a calculated risk as a professional or you're gambling. If you're doing things just to do the things and hope for the best, you're gambling when you're trading. Well, I'm gonna go up because I feel like it's gonna go up. That's gambling. But if you're trading, whether it's forex, whether it's crypto, whether it's commodities, whether it's futures, whatever it is, make sure what you're doing is a calculated risk. That way you are doing it as a professional. Do not gamble with your financial future. That's why I said, if you're going to send your pets, make sure it's going to be worth it. Don't just send it in there for the hell of it. Send it in there. If you sit down and you think, like, you know what, I can part with these 10 pets for the next 3 months and get as much as I can. That is a calculated risk. I'm going to throw them and see what happens and pull them out in 30 days. No, now you're gambling because you're hoping it's going to be worth it. That's why I'm telling you guys this thing, because I want you guys to have the biggest success as we possibly can. So good luck to everybody. Remember, Dragonary is having their special event for the next, I think there's about 17 hours left. I will put a link to this video. And if you want to calculate how to increase your account on Dragonary, I will also put this video. And other than that, good luck to everybody. If you got a good use out of this video, as always, my videos are usually about 35 to 45 minutes. So we got another one today. Thank you for everybody who has subscribed. A free way to support the channel is to give me a thumbs up. In the meantime, I will see you guys in the next video. And I'm out. See ya.